Vasishta continued. As the sun rose, Mandalas became Kumbha. Thus the pair lived as friends during the day and as husband and wife during the night. While Sikhidhvaja was asleep one night, Kumbha, Chudala in disguise, slipped away to the palace and discharged the royal duties there and quickly returned to the king's bedside. So Chudala is leading quite a complicated life, complicated and convoluted. She's Queen Chudala and she's got her royal duties to perform. During the day she's the Brahmin Kumbha. She's the guru and friend of Sikhidhvaja, who she's recently married again as Mandalas. And perhaps what the Yoga Vasishta is expressing here is how we do have this multifaceted, multidimensional reality. We're not one person, we're not one thing, we're different things to different people. We're different things at different times to different people. I suggested earlier that maybe the Yoga Vasishta is losing the plot a bit. But one of the things the Yoga Vasishta does it gives us portrayals of reality, of the dreamlike nature of reality. And I think this is what we're getting here. Let's see how it goes. For a month they lived in the caves of the Mahendra mountain. They then roamed in different forests and migrated from one mountainside to another. For some time they lived in the garden of the gods known as the Parijata forest, on the southern slopes of the Mainaka mountain. They also roamed the Kuru territory and the Kosala territory. The Kosala territory, I think, was one of the haunts of the Buddha. After they had enjoyed themselves in this manner for a number of months, Chudala, disguised as Kumbha, thought, I should test the maturity of the king by placing before him the pleasures and the delights of heaven. If he is unaffected by them, surely he will never again seek pleasure. One wonders why Chudala felt the need to test the king. Kumbha is guru, friend and lover to Sikhidhvaja. At night Kumbha becomes Mandalas, a woman. There's so much scope here for interpretation, isn't there? But I'm going to try and keep it as simple as possible. I think one of the points though is that Chudala still isn't convinced that Sikhidhvaja is firmly established in self-knowledge. So this is perhaps why she feels she needs to test him. It's also why she's still not yet been completely honest with him. Sikhidhvaja does not know that Kumbha, who becomes Mandalas at night, is actually his original wife Chudala. Having thus decided, Chudala created by her magic powers the illusion in which Sikhidhvaja saw the chief of the gods, Indra, accompanied by the celestials standing right in front of him. Unruffled by their sudden appearance, the king offered them due worship. Then he asked Indra, Pray tell me, what have I done to deserve this, that you've taken all the trouble to come here today? Indra replied, Holy One, we have all come here, drawn irresistibly to your presence. We have heard your glories sung in heaven. Come to heaven. Having heard of your greatness, the celestials long to see you. Pray accept these celestial insignia, which will enable you to traverse the space, even as the perfected sages do. There's an interesting device, celestial insignia, which will take you to heaven. Surely, O sage, liberated beings like you do not spurn happiness that seeks them unsought. May your visit purify the heaven. Sikhidhvaja said, I know the conditions that prevail in heaven, O Indra, but to me heaven is everywhere and also nowhere. I am happy wherever I am because I desire nothing. However, I am unable to go to the kind of heaven which you describe, and which is limited to one place. Hence I am unable to fulfill your command. So Sikhidhvaja's gone beyond limited notions of heaven. But, said Indra, I think it is proper that liberated sages should suffer to experience the pleasures allotted to them. Sikhidhvaja remained silent. Indra was getting ready to leave. Sikhidhvaja said, I shall not come now, for now is not the time. Having blessed the king and Kumbha, Indra and his retinue disappeared. So that's quite a big thing. Normally an individual would accept a request of Indra, but Sikhidhvaja feels no need to go along with this. So Indra here represents the pleasure principle, and Sikhidhvaja is like one in deep sleep with respect to pleasure. He has no response to it. Vasishta continued. After withdrawing that magical display, Shudala said to herself, luckily the king is not attracted by temptations of pleasure. Even when Indra visited him and invited him to heaven, the king remained unaffected and pure like space. I shall now subject him to another test to see if he is swayed by the twin forces of attraction and repulsion. And we'll find out about that in the next video. It's a steamy one.